but I really wanted to create this character who was like me as a kid, who other kids might see themselves in.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hi, it's nice to talk to you today.
It's nice to talk to you too. You, like many homes, or like many others, I'm sure, have been a staple in my home for many years with my boys. Um, and the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series are just so fun. And this film is equally as joyful as the rest. I would love to know, in from you, how much of Greg comes from you, from your life.
Yeah, a lot of my own foibles and imperfections as a kid are reflected in Greg. I think it's he's a little bit more exaggerated than I was as a kid, but I really wanted to create this character who was like me as a kid, who other kids might see themselves in. So hopefully, I've succeeded in that.
Well, I would hope that a lawnmower blade didn't spin around the lawn like it
Yeah,
does
that's true.
here. You know what I thought was interesting about this one, though, too, is I mean, now you're a dad, and we get a lot more of his dad in this film than we've
Yeah.
gotten in previous ones. Um, did that change for you? Like you, as a dad yourself, did that change the way that you bring this character to life?
It's funny because as Disney and I are trying to develop these films, we had these conversations about parenting. And I remember I explained, I said, sometimes it feels like we don't teach our kids, we don't give them the tools that they need. And I explained a situation where my son didn't know how to use a key, how to get into the house. And then, Disney said, yeah, put that in the movie. So the opening scene is basically straight out of my own life. And I think that's fun as a parent. I started writing these books when I was 28 years old, and now I'm 54, and there's been a lot of life in between. So I draw from everything, and maybe one day I'll be a grandparent and I'll have some more material.
Honestly, I love that aspect of this film because certainly, I mean, the film's very much Greg's story, as are the books. But we do get this different perspective and this tension between the other family and whatnot. And
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you this as a parent. Do you think there's a point when, as fathers, we forget what it's like to be our sons?
I think we do. And, I saw the movie How to Train Your Dragon, where there's this generational gap between the father Viking and his young son. And there's an aching there because they both want to close that gap. They both recognize that it's a difficult to close that gap, but they want to. And I think that that's something that's reflected in this movie is Greg and his dad want to be close. And I think that's really nice.
Yeah, their relationship is beautiful. And um, but what is it about these relationships with our dads that gets so complicated, especially with like in this when they're very similar people?
Yeah, they are. They're almost like the same person, which is kind of a central idea about the movie is that here are these two people that don't realize how similar they are. And I was like that with my father. I was really similar, but of course we grew up in really different times and the context of our lives was really different. Our cultures were different in a way. And so, but I think that there is this central yearning that parents and their kids have to get close to one another.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know too, like with the new films that are on Disney Plus, the move to animation has given you more opportunity than the live action, I think, to sort of have more fun with what's going on the screen. Has that been freeing for you as an artist and as an author?
It's been a lot of fun, and we've got a director on now named Matt Danner who's got a lot of skill in adding comedy to scenes, which is super fun. He juices up and pluses up a lot of the scenes to really add a lot of what animation can do, and I think that that is very freeing because even though the stories are really grounded, they're still cartoons and they're still animations, and you need to take advantage of that medium.
Absolutely. And I know we're running out of time, Jeff, but just as we wrap, I know it's called The Last Straw, but this isn't the last book. Are we going to get more of Greg's journey as we move on?
I'm really hoping so. I guess nothing in life is promised, but I definitely would love to make more Wimpy Kid movies and expand the Wimpy-verse.
I love that word. The Wimpy-verse, that is a thing. Uh,
Thank you.
honestly, Jeff, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. The film's
Thanks for
great.
spending time with me. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.